Early 2020, films with diverse casts perform best at the box office. So it's like, well, if there's financial implications, right, to not having a diverse workforce, then people are going to do something about it. The production companies are going to say, hey, we need a diverse cast. Because when it comes to off-screen, it's like, well, people aren't aware of that. Unless you work off-screen, unless you're part of that workforce, you're not aware. And so there's that kind of less common knowledge about, and also a lack of data. I found trying to, in the process of launching BWIPP, I struggled to find any data that was specific to Black women and Black mixed heritage women working in post-production. It was always under the umbrella of BAME, Black, Asian, minority, ethnic. And it's like, well, we're all under this umbrella. What's the actual kind of sectoring of that? What percentage is Black? What percentage is Asian?
I also agree too. I think on our side, post-production, it's slowly starting to get visible. Just a sense because a lot of us are starting to win awards, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people like Issa and Lena and, Shonda Rhimes and Ava are now bringing more of us into the forefront behind the scenes as well. That there's still an issue in regards to, while the media sees a lot of content that's for us, and even though we still have those inklings of some people bringing us in through the pipeline, it's still an issue of some of the bigger shows and some of the other shows that people think that is all diverse is not diverse at all. And so being able to, when I got to post-production, it was worse because I was the only one, or maybe one other person, telling an editor, who's mainly a white male, older male, about our culture, sometimes either our culture or somebody else's, content or, struggles. I really had to focus on that when I did My Killer Body with K. Michelle, which I don't do no silicone, but that really taught me how to be an advocate. Producers, everything, we are advocates for the talent that we are making stars.
If you want to get into post-production, what are some roles that we don't know or hear about often that are good places to start? Let's say, I'm gonna, career change. I'm not acting anymore. I'm not doing voiceovers, but I'm getting into editing. We talked about Ricardo Handy and the Handy Foundation and his assistant training program, but what are some things that you could do to potentially get started that, I heard you mention a couple of things like logging and all that, but what are some things that you would be advising people to get started at the secondary schools, at the high school level? And I'll go back to Jasmine and start with you first.
Yeah, so again, I don't know how different it is in the US, but in the UK, as the question about trainee schemes, those are really common routes in. That was my way in as well. So I came in as an edit trainee, and I started off actually in the film kind of trainee cohort, and then they opened kind of applications to the high-end TV side because all of the high-end TV trainees were taking up on jobs and high-end TV was booming. And so I then kind of jumped over into high-end TV, and I've just been there ever since. But my route in was that scheme.
So I honestly would say for scripted, find your best people who you like, Alina Waith, Ava, and see if they have initiatives and workshops that are coming, because they're coming. For unscripted, if you are interested in the producer side, immediately you have to either be an associate producer and have that background, a logger, or if you want to be in documentary, docuseries, a researcher, and or archival. Those really help to build how we talk about conversations about EP notes, going back and forth, knowing logistically how to organize story, continuity, going down to releasing stuff. Releasing and copyright is a whole nother field. And yes, producers, we do have to do that.
I think too, you're both touching on really powerful things. I think one of the things is it may have been a role, may have been a smaller role, but I'll give this example. I did a co-star for a show and I was very excited for and thankful for it, but I just went in and just did it, and it was during the pandemic. Long story short, the director and I really hit it off, and 2 lines has been turned into a 3-year relationship. So I didn't look at it like, oh, it's just a small role, I want a big role. It was like, it's an opportunity, and that got me in the door and then established a relationship. And that's something else to both of your points. I hear the word networking a lot, and it was used in the panel that I was on, or was at yesterday for Pan African with Post. And one of the biggest things that was given to me as a nugget was when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was sending emails all the time for job opportunities or for representation. And a mentor told me, he said, hey, your breakthrough is going to come when you're in the room. He said, because people gravitate to you. He said, you send the email, you're just putting yourself in the same box as everybody else, and people don't get to see you. But when they get to hear your voice, when they get to look at your eye and see your vibe and your energy, it's going to be game over.